Yesterday, we talked about the facilitation of employees sharing information. Well, today I'd like to take it to perhaps a little more formal steps with the culture of Speak Up. The compliance tip of the day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. And now I'd like to say a few words about the latest podcast on the Compliance Podcast Network, AI Today in 5 with 5. Thrilled to announce the inaugural episode of my latest podcast series, AI Today in 5. I wanted to do a short curated set of stories and news stories about AI for the compliance professional and the greater business professional. You can check it out on Megaphone, the Compliance Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple, or wherever great podcasts are listened to. Check out AI Today in 5. A Speak Up culture is truly one of the most, if not the most important part of your compliance program. Why? Because it allows you to crowdsource your own employees' information, not simply about negative acts or violations, but about improvement. Nick Gallo at Ethico continually reminds us that it is the crowdsourcing through Speak Up that can create the power of that culture for an organization. But Bob Conlon told me long ago, and Bob was the CEO of Navex when he said this, that a Speak Up culture only works if you have a culture of listen up. And this, I think, was shown by Kyle Welch in his seminal paper in 2018, which demonstrated the numerical values in having a culture of Speak Up and the enhanced profitability. But many compliance professionals find it difficult to use compliance communications to help move the ball forward on a Speak Up. Why? It begins because they may conflate communications with training. Training needs to be viewed as something that happens once a year on some type of cadence. It can be a monthly cadence, it can be an annual cadence. But training tends to be viewed as something that happens, and even the DOJ has seen through the fallacy of this argument in the 2024 evaluation of corporate compliance programs when it says companies have invested in shorter, more targeted training sessions that enable employees to timely identify and raise issues, to appraise compliance, internal audit, or other risk management functions. The 2024 ECCP also leads to the following questions. What resources have been available to employees to improve guidance related to raising an issue? And has your company assessed whether its employees knew how or when to seek advice and whether they should be willing to speak up? Can you answer these questions to the satisfaction of the DOJ? If not, you may have a gap in your communication program. What can you do to facilitate trust? Obviously, this is going to be something that will be critical in the minds of each of your employees. And this is where transparency comes in. You need to be transparent when someone does raise their hand and speak up. And it can't be, as Ryan Rabelais has said, the black box problem in compliance. If employees don't understand the process, they won't trust it. Make sure employees understand that they keep apprised with the developments in each step you're taking. The bottom line really to all of this is that while there's certain formal steps or processes, you're really limited only by your imagination in this. And it's something that I hope you will utilize to enhance your Speak Up culture going forward. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, what are you doing to improve your Speak Up? Number 2, how are you using comms to foster trust in your organization? And finally, let's go back to Kyle Welch in 2018 and Bob Conlon for number 3, which is to have a great culture of Speak Up, it has to be paired with a culture of listen up in your organization so that people will trust the process going forward. And I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip, either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced